Welcome to episode number 14 of this Colorado Rockies MLB The Show 20 franchise series. And today I'm obviously playing my Colorado Rockies MLB The Show 20 franchise series. It's episode number 14 of this series. Like it says in the title, and like I said 20 seconds ago, and like it says in the title, it's episode number 14 of this series. In this episode, it's going to be the All-Star Game, the 2020 MLB All-Star Game. This is still MLB The Show 20 because I cannot port any franchises from MLB The Show 20 to any later versions of the game. So I have to continue this series in MLB The Show 20, which I have no problem doing. So yeah, I believe the 2020 All-Star Game, MLB All-Star Game here in this game, here in this franchise is on Tuesday, July 14th, 2020. Obviously, in 2020, in real life, in 2020, that's when COVID started. It was in March of 2020, and then after the season was suspended or was delayed, and usually it starts at it's supposed to start in late March or early April, and it ended up not starting until July. I think it was 24th. So it was delayed May, June, 3 months. But obviously in this game, and it was delayed 3 months, and it only ended up being a 60-game season instead of a 162-game season. So they cut the season by 102 games. So 60 games instead of 162 games. So I just said they cut the season by 102 games. But in this game, and obviously in 2020, because it's a 60-game season, there was no home run derby and no All-Star game in 2020 in real life. But in this game, there is. Last episode of the series was the home run derby with Nolan Arenado, who in this game is still on the Rockies. Like I said, last episode of the series was the home run derby. Last episode of the series was the home run derby as Nolan Arenado, the Rockies third baseman. I know in real life now he's on the Cardinals, but in this game he's still on the Rockies. He made it to the home run derby and won it. Sorry about any spoilers, but although I just spoiled it, if you still want to watch it, the last episode of the series, which was, like I said, the home run derby, will be on the sky in the top right corner right up here. There should be an icon that pops up. There should be an icon that pops up at the beginning of the video. But yeah, like I said, the last episode of the series was a home run derby. And this episode, what you're watching right now, is the All-Star Game. And this episode of the series, in this game, will be the third and final game of this 3-game weekend series against the LA Dodgers. You can see these are the first 2 games right here, and then the third game is here on Sunday, August 23rd, 2020. That will be the next episode of this series in this game. But I'm not sure when it's going to be posted in real life. But I'm not sure when this episode of the series will be in real life. But I'm not sure when this episode of the series will be in real life. But it will be this third and final game against the Dodgers here in that 3-game series, or here in this 3-game series against the Dodgers, like I said, at home in Colorado or in Denver. So that third and final game against the Dodgers at home will be like I said, the next episode of the series in this game will be the third and final game of this 3-game weekend series against the Dodgers at home. And obviously the next episode will be that third and final game of the 3-game series, it will be the third and final game of the 3-game weekend series against the Los Angeles Dodgers at home in Denver at Coors Field. Speaking of LA, after the real life 2020 home run derby and All-Star Game, we're supposed to be in LA. Obviously then because of COVID didn't happen obviously LA didn't host in 2020. Then in 2021 it was supposed to be Atlanta who was supposed to host it, but then because of some reason I'm not going to get into, they moved it from Atlanta to Denver. And then that was in 2021, and obviously then LA, who was supposed to host in 2020, hosted in 2022, and then I believe Seattle's hosting next year. But either way, it's 2020 still in this game, and I believe the default stadium is gonna have us play in, or at least the stadium that's gonna show or pop up after I put the starting pitcher and did the lineups all together, or that's after. You do that after you pick the stadium. You pick your starting pitcher, and then you do your lineups after you pick the stadium. But once I load into the game, but once I click off if if I wanted to go to here, I would go see view today's games. I would click on this button, and then it would bring me to a screen where I would have both logos, and then I'm going to use both controllers, and then once I click X for both of these controllers, then it brings me to the stadium screen, and the default stadium will be Atlanta because that was the case for the Home Run Derby, but I changed it from Atlanta to LA. Not because in this game, the All-Star Stadium in this game is still, obviously, LA. That's not the reason. The reason is, the reason why I'm gonna be playing the All-Star Game in LA and not Atlanta is not because of that reason they moved it out of Atlanta in 2021, or I'm gonna be playing in LA and not Atlanta, not because of that reason they moved the All-Star Game in 2021, All-Star Game and the Home Run Derby in 2021 from Atlanta to Denver. That's not the reason I'm going to be playing in LA and not Atlanta. The reason is because it's 2020 in this game, and also if there was a Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, in 2020, it would be in LA. I think I explained this in the last episode, but either way, I played the Home Run Derby in LA, and I'm going to be playing the All-Star Game in LA as well. First, let's look at the All-Star voting. As Johnny Cueto, the veteran, 34 years old, will be the starting pitcher for the NL. Usually they have the top 5 pitchers. Starting pitchers come, so it's Patrick Corbin, German Marquez, Rockies pitcher, Taijuan Walker, and then Jameson Taillon. Usually it's the top 5. And then for relief pitchers, the top relief pitcher is Seth Lugo of the Mets, but usually they pick like the top 3 or 4 starting relief pitchers. And there's Tyler Lyons, Pedro Baez, Sam Dyson, and then closer, Craig Kimbrell, our closer. Usually they pick 2 or 3 closers, and then there's Corey Knebel, Kenley Jansen, Archie Bradley, and so on and so forth. Behind the plate, JT Realmuto. At first base, Freddie Freeman, who in this game is still on the Braves. At first base, Freddie Freeman, who in this game is still on the Braves. Studer Jeanette, Manny Machado, Nolan Arenado finished second, so he might be in as a backup, or possibly the DH, because remember, although we're playing in LA, which is a NL park, and in this game there's no universal DH, there's always a DH in the All-Star Game, regardless of if they're playing at an AL park or an NL park. Regardless if they're playing at an AL park or an NL park, there's always a DH in the All-Star Game. So possibly he could be the DH, maybe. Gene Segura at shortstop, David Peralta on left, Chris Taylor in center, and Michael Conforto in right, and then over in the AL, Corey Kluber, which will be the starting pitcher, and then there's also Chris Sale, Jade Fair, Luis Severino, and Garrett Cole, who in this game is still on the Astros. Relief pitcher is, yes, Merido Piet. I might be botching his name. There's also Juan Minea, Diego Castillo, Mike Morin, and so on and so forth. Closer, Roberto Ozuna, Sean Doolittle, Michael Divins, Will Smith, Blake Trinan, etc. At catcher, John Fadley of the A's. That's surprising. First base, Yuri Gurriel. Second base, Jose Altuve. Third base, Jose Ramirez with Bredman in second. And remember, Bredman, Altuve, and Gurriel are all Astros. Shortstop, Bogarts. Left field, JD Martinez. Bogarts and Martinez, both Red Sox. Center field, Mike Trout. Right field, Mookie Betts. So you have the Astros with 2 starters, and Gurriel and Altuve, and then the Red Sox with 2 starters with, the Astros with 2 starters, and Gurriel and Altuve, and then the Red Sox with 2 starters, and Bogarts and Martinez. But remember, there's a Blackman, former Rocky. I traded him this year. But yeah, so usually, obviously that's all the starters, but usually there's at least like 7 backups usually. So there could be like Lindor could be set in shortstop, Bredman could be set at third baseman, or you could see Bredman or Lindor as a DH. See, maybe Brantley did in, maybe Malin Smith, but if you looked over at the NL, you might see like Lorenzo Cain did in, you might see Juan Soto, you might see Corey Seager, who in this game is still on the Dodgers, possibly Arenado, and obviously there will be some backups, usually at 5 to 7, or usually around like 7 or 8 backups in the All-Star Game, plus there's a DH. So, yeah. We're going to get into the game. Both controllers, like I said. Sorry, it's already 10 minutes in the video. I haven't started playing yet, but I just wanted to show you who started in the All-Star game, and obviously you guys will find out who the backups will be. I'll show you in a minute here. But yeah, view today's game. It's one game. The game's at 10:05 Eastern because the game's at 10:05 Eastern because the game's in LA, and obviously LA is on Pacific time. So it still says TBD versus TBD, but it should be Kluber versus Cueto. Even if we played it in Atlanta, obviously Atlanta and LA are both two NL parts. So the NL will obviously be the home team, while the AL will be the road team. Yes, I know. Okay, so why is Patrick... So it looks like there's a change. It's still Corey Kluber for the AL, but it's Patrick Corbin for the NL. That's weird. But yeah, I want to play the game. Here we go. Play full game. That was a notification I had one of my players in the All-Star game, but I already knew that because Kimbrel is definitely in it. And you want each team, no matter how bad you are, like as a team, each player or each team at least gets one player in the All-Star game. So we definitely have Kimbrel, and we probably have Arenado. But yeah, the NL will be the home. The NL will be the NL will be the red controller, and the AL will be the blue controller. So it will be, although it will say Atlanta. I told you it's gonna do that. Although it says Atlanta, I'm not gonna play it in Atlanta. If it was 2021, I will, or I would. If it was 2021, I would. But it's 2020, so I'm gonna play it. Or if it was 2021, I would play it in Atlanta. But because it's 2020, I'm gonna play it in LA. So, I mean, like right there, it says All-Star Game, below that says 2020, and it's 2020 in this game, so yeah. Dodger Stadium holds 56,000, opened in 1962. Long time ago. Presentation mode broadcast theme style, MLB Network, quick counts on, cloud cover, clear skies. So yeah, I don't know, I just because Corbin's said a little higher overall, that's why they're saying it's Corbin versus Kluber. I mean, Corbin 14-4, Kluber 10-4. 2.52 ERA for Corbin and then Kluber with a 1.9 ERA. So yeah, I'll just do Corbin versus Kluber, righty versus lefty, 96 versus 90. And then I don't think unless Arenado's a DH, which he's not. Rhys Hoskins is a DH. We have Segura, Yelich. This is in the starting lineup instead of Taylor. Then you have Freddie Freeman, Rhys Hoskins, a DH, Studer Jeanette, Manny Machado, Michael Conforto, David Peralta, JT Realmuto, and then you have Chris Taylor, Yadier Molina, Jorge Alfaro, Anthony Rizzo, Cesar. Sorry, like I said, it's like 13 minutes in the video, and we're not even in the game yet. Cesar Hernandez. I think that's the last thing I said before the last clip ended. And then Nolan Arenado did get in as a backup. Or the sub, or whatever you want to call it. And then Corey Seager, Josh Donaldson, Bryce Harper, Brandon Nimmo, and Juan Soto. That's all the position players. And the pitchers you'll find out later in the game. And all that good stuff. AL starting lineup: Jose Altuve, Whit Merrifield, the DH, Mike Trout, JD Martinez, Mookie Betts, Jose Ramirez, Xander Bogaerts, Yuri Gurriel, and Josh Fadley. And then for the backups, Isaiah Tanner-Falefa, Colin Ditford, Yonder Alonso, Jair Conley, Arleo, I completely bought Jamir Candelario, I'm kind of botched his name, JT Riddle, Francisco Lindor, Alex Bregman, I forgot he was second place behind Ramirez. So yeah, Bregman, Michael Brantley, another Astro, Tommy Pham, Marcell Ozuna, who he's on the Indians. Obviously, in this game, it's still the Indians, not the Guardians. And then Charlie Blackmon. And then obviously, you'll find out the pitchers later in the game. Yeah, I'm the play-by-play announcer for this game, and Matt Vasgersian is not turned down at all. Let's get into the 2020 MLB All-Star Game in LA between the AL and the NL. Let's get into it right now. We are live and on the air for another edition of baseball. Here in the show. as we have the 2020 MLB All-Star Game here on the MLB Network, and it features the AL and the NL, of course, as it's between the American League All-Stars and the National League All-Stars here in LA. Hi then everybody, Vinny J. Vinny J. here in Studio 42, aka the Man Cave. Welcome to the Midsummer Classic here on MLB Network. As here's here's the players voted in by the fans. As you can see, there's the All-Star starters from catcher, all nine positions, including the pitcher, and then obviously the DH. It's Corey Kluber starting for the AL and Patrick Corbin starting for the NL. It's the 2020 MLB All-Star Game on MLB Network, and it comes your way next. There's Yelich.
Close to first pitch here. Let's listen in to public address announcer Alex Miniak.
As the NL All-Stars take the field here at Dodger Stadium, because obviously they're the home team, and the home team is in the field first. There's the lovely field. Just a lovely field here in LA. There's the starting comparison. 6'4" to 6'3", both around 200 pounds, 33 years old and 30 years old, both veterans. Patrick Corbin, 18 starts here so far in the first half of the 2020 season, 14-4 record, so he's out of decision. He's out of decision, a win or loss in all 18 of his starts. 2.52 ERA, has pitched 128 and 1/3 innings, with 116 hits, and then you saw what his whip was. Lots of hits to end pitch, and then how many walks and strikeouts he had. There's Altuve to lead it off for the AL. Quick counts are on. 1-1 pitch to Altuve as we're on your way here in the 2020 MLB All-Star Game. Here's Altuve. Ground ball at the middle. Flat down by, I believe that's Segura. Throw over to Freddie Freeman. 1 down to lead off the All-Star Game here in 2020. And here in LA. Here's the starting lineup for the AL. Jose Altuve, Whit Merrifield, the DH, Mike Trout, J.D. Martinez, Mookie Betts, Jose Ramirez, Xander Bogaerts, Yuri Gurriel, and Josh Fadley. Obviously, you have 2 Red Sox, 2 Astros for starters, and then you have Whit Merrifield, I believe, on the Royals. He's the DH for the AL here tonight. 2-1. Ground ball hit hard, actually. Right to the second baseman, though. Throw to Freddie Freeman. 2 down. So 6-3 ground out, and then a 4-3 ground out. Quickly 2 down, and now it's Jeanette who made that play. Now it's Mike Trout. 1-1 pitch from Corbin to Trout. Ground ball. Segura to Freddie Freeman. Close play and a low throw, but picked by Freddie Freeman, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 to the AL. NL coming to bat. No score here in the All-Star Game. Corey Kluber gets the start for the AL. 19 starts here in the first half of 2020. 10-4 record, a 1.90 ERA, 146 and 2/3 innings pitched, 109 hits, a 0.98 WHIP, 34 walks, and 135 strikeouts. So a sub-1 WHIP and a sub-2 ERA. Here is Gene Segura. Kluber has 5 pitches. As we're on your way in the bottom of the first, no score. Popped up. Shallow right field. Going back is Altuve. And he's got it. Backpedaling in right field. 1 down. Here's the starting lineup for the NL. Gene Segura, Christian Yelich, Freddie Freeman, Rhys Hoskins, the DH, Scooter Gennett, Manny Machado, Michael Conforto, David Peralta, and JT Realmuto. There's Yelich. Obviously, both of these stars are probably only go 1 inning, maybe 2. 1-1. Hit hard! Knocked down by Bogaerts, and he zips it across to the first baseman for the AL. Yelich 2 down. Now Freddie Freeman, the first baseman for the NL, up against Troy Kluber. Ground ball, right of the mound, in front of the mound. Kluber will throw to the AL first baseman, and the inning's over. As both teams go 1-2-3 in the first. No score here in LA. Here we go. Top two. Starter for Corbin still in the game. But I mean, it's a full bullpen. Like, it's not like there's more. Well, yeah, you have a full bullpen where you have like a long relief pitcher, 3 middle relief pitchers, 2 setup men, and a closer. And the NL closer obviously is Craig Kimbrell, the Rockies closer. But then also you have 4 starters in Cueto, Marquez, Tyon, and Walker. So starting them up, Seth Ludo and Johnny Cueto, with Cueto being a starter, and then Ludo being the long relief pitcher for the NL in the NL bullpen. And then over on the other side, Derek Tolstein warm up in the AL bullpen, and then Will Smith is also starting to warm up in the bullpen as well. Here we go. Here's J.D. Martinez from the Red Sox, left fielder here tonight. Hit hard on a line past the dive in Jeanette. Shift was on, and it went to the right of Jeanette, his right, and it just past the diving glove. First hit of the All-Star game belongs to J.D. Martinez. Here's Betts, excuse me. Another ground ball, has to be 2. Second one, a fair hit by Segura. Double play, 2 down, and I forgot. The Red Sox actually have 3 starters. Xander Bogaerts, J.D. Martinez, and Mookie Betts. I forgot Betts is still on the Red Sox. And obviously the Astros have 2 with Gurriel and Altuve, and then the Red Sox have 3 in Bogaerts, Martinez, and Betts. Here's Ramirez from the Indians. Hit hard, up the middle, almost at the base. Doesn't hit the pitcher or the base. 2 out single for Ramirez. So a single, then a double play. No, another single. Runner at first, 2 outs. And here is Bogaerts, I believe. Fly ball right there is a right fielder, and the inning is over. 2 hits and 1 left for the American lead. Middle of 2, the score is 0-0. Here we go. 4-5-6-2 up for the NL in the bottom of the second. Still against Kluber. Usually the starters go 2 innings, and then the bullpen takes over. And remember, in the starter in this case, the starting pitcher in the All-Star game, obviously in all the other games, in like regular season games, postseason games, and even in spring training games, or at least in regular season games and postseason games, the starting pitcher has to go 5 innings to qualify for a win. That is not the case in the All-Star game. So there's a possibility there's a possibility that a starter could get a win in the All-Star game by only pitching like 2 innings, because in every other game, that's a base hit for Hoskins. But in every other game, in all the regular season games and all the postseason games, starting pitcher has to go 5 innings to qualify for a win. Like I said, that is not the case here in the All-Star game. 1 on, nobody out. Now full count, and that's batter. Ground ball to be 2. Ramirez, Altuve, Gurriel. That's another double play, or not another one. But there was one in the top half of the inning. Now there's one here in the bottom half of the inning. 2 down in the second for Manny Machado of the Padres. Full count to Machado. Shift is on. And that is low on the center at 92 miles per hour. 2 out, 1 from Machado. And the inning continues for Michael Conforto. Another full count. Runner at first will be in motion. That's Machado. Trying to end the inning right here, right now. Ground ball. Shortstop. Bogaerts over to the first baseman. And he picked that throw to save an error. Went to the third. No score in LA. 8-9-1 due up for the AL in the top of the third. Gurriel, Fadley in the top of the order, and Altuve. And they're going to bring in Seth Ludo from the NL bullpen. So the starting pitcher for the NL only goes 2 innings, but usually that's the case. Usually they go 1 or 2 innings. And then after that, the bullpen takes over. Ground ball, center base. That's Jeanette. The Freddie Freeman, 1 down. Now, obviously, the position players will start going out in the middle innings, and then will start going out in the middle innings from like the 4th or 5th inning to the end of the game. 1-1. Foul ball. Obviously, both starters, or at least right now, the NL starter would Corbin will get the no decision. Kluber possibly still did it to win. He's still the pitcher of record for the NL or for the AL. Ground ball past Freddie Freeman. Base hit for the AL, as let us said, Corey Kluber is still the pitcher of record for the AL. So he still did it to win, while Corbin will definitely get the no decision. Here's Altuve grounding out in the first. 1 on, 1 out after the single. Ground ball has to be 2. Freddie Freeman over, and the pitcher covering double play. 3-6-1 double play was Ferdie Freeman, Stuart Jeanette, or Freddie Freeman. Went Freddie Freeman, Gene Sedura, and then the pitcher covering. 3-6-1 double play and an over. Or 3-6-1 double play and an over. You didn't miss anything, although the last clip ended right after that double play. No score after 2.5. Here we go, bottom 3. Still in the game is Kluber. That's surprising. Full count. Fly ball. It's hit well. Trout is back. He is there. 1 down. I see David Arai, the batter, did for the NL, but Trout, the center fielder for the AL, makes the catch. There's JT Realmuto, 1-1. Line drive. Will this one stay fair? No. The play by the ball boy to snap that ball on 1 hop. 1-2 to Realmuto with 1 out. Ground ball. First baseman backhands it. Taking himself. 3 unassisted ground ball. 2 down. And that's Gurriel. I forgot that's a Gurriel. Here's Gene Sedura. 3 hits for the AL, 1 hit for the NL. Ground ball at the middle. It's a slow chopper. Altuve's got to hurry. Throw to his teammate. Gurriel got him. Right to the 4th. Still no score here in the 2020 MLB All-Star Game here on MLB Network. Here we go. Still in there is Ludo for the NL. Ground ball, right side. Center baseman, 1 down. Middle innings, which is the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning. Now we're on the 4th, so in the middle innings, 1 down now for Mike Trout. And they're down to Brennan Cueto right here. So it's the 3rd NL pitcher, while the AL is still on their starter. But they're probably going to bring Kluber out in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Cueto versus Trout. That's hit hard, almost hit the umpire. Looks like it went between his legs. Cut off by Yelich. That will be only a single for Trout, as that it was hit hard. Hit hard. Almost tipped someone's head off and almost hit the umpire in the leg. Here's Martinez. Ground ball should be 2. Second 1. First. And this is another double play. 4-6-3 double play and an over. Middle of 4. It's still the AL 0 and the NL 0. Here we go, we're back in LA. Here's Yelich, they'll lead it off. And they're done to Brennan Will Smith. So they're bringing the lefty to face the lefty. 6'5", left-hander, 1-1. Line drive, coming in as the left fielder. And letting it drop is Martinez. Smart decision, because if he dove and missed it, it would have been probably triple or into the Parker. And here's Freddie Freeman. No position players for either team have been subbed out yet. 3-1. To Freddie Freeman, that hit the outside corner, 3-2. So I just said both starters will now officially did the no decision. Full count again to Freddie Freeman. That's a ground ball. That could have been ball 4. Instead he fouls it. Never know what this umpire could call. Full count again. Runner stays put. Fly ball deep left center field. Going back is Martinez. And Trout Martinez will make the catch. Despite being like 35, he had to use all his strength to get to that ball. And left center, 1 down for Hoskins, a DH for the NL. 1 on, 1 out. 1 for 1 with the single. Popped up as he pumped up the slider. Behind the plate is Fadley, or foul territory is Fadley, and he makes the catch, 2 down. Now Jeanette. 1 on, 2 out. Hit hard. Center base, or shortstop will throw to the center baseman covering in and over. Way to the 5th. Still no score. Here we go. We're already in the 5th inning here in the All-Star Game. No score. And they're selling up Archie Bradley in the NL bullpen. Still in the name is Johnny Cueto against Betts. 3-1. Hit hard, punch through the shift between Segura, and now it's botched. And now going back to first is Betts, but it was botched by Yelich. Betts will stay put though, as it was punched between Segura, or between Jeanette and Segura. And now Ramirez, who's a switch hitter, is now batting left-handed. And Alex Bregman will pinch hit for Jose Ramirez. So the first backup that come in the game for at least position players will come in. Runner at first, one out. Runner at first, nobody out. Excuse me. Ground ball, base hit. Bregman comes in after replacing Ramirez. Gets a single. 2 on, nobody out for the AL. Here's Bodart, so he stays in the game. Line drive, base hit! And now Yelich comes up firing! They're sending the runner! And throws up the line! And a swipe tag by Ramirez does not get the runner. RBI single for Bodart. And the AL strikes first. Runner at second will score. Or the runner at second scores. Runner at first out over to third. Runners at the corners, nobody out for the AL. Already up 1-0. Here comes Archie Bradley. Runners on base are responsible of the previous pitcher. And the AL has obviously Derek Cole running away down, actually on a schedule to put in the game. And they also starting to warm up that Petit guy, or Petit. And Yonder Alonso will pinch hit for Yuri Gurriel. Here we go. Pinch hitter, runs in the corners, nobody out. Ground ball, runner will score. Infield is bad, that's a double play, but the AL does get their second run. It's a 5-4-3 double play as Alonso, the pinch hitter, comes in and grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. The runner at third will score. The runner will score. The runner at third will score, but because it's a double play, the batter Alonso will not get an RBI. But the run does score. 2-0 AL here in the top of the fifth. Foul ball. Staley will remain in the game for now. Top 5, no runners on, 2 outs. Top 5, 2-0 AL. Snapped his bat. Well, that will hit the ground. 1 up to Freddie Freeman. Flip it to the pitcher covering and then over. But the AL did 2 runs. I believe both charged to the previous pitcher, which was, I believe, Cueto. Not Cueto. Well, both those runs were charged to the previous pitcher. Halfway home here in the All-Star game. It's now 2-0 American lead. And yeah, I do want this new pitcher to come in. Bregman will come in at third base. Alonso will come in at first base. And I believe that's it. So yeah, Bregman at third, Alonso at first. And I believe that's it as well. And then obviously you have the new pitcher coming in, Garrett Cole, who in this game is still on the Astros. So the Astros have 3 players in the All-Star game at least. They have 2 starters and 3 players total, and also the Red Sox have 3 starters as well. Like 3 starters in the game. Here's Machado against Cole. Hit hard right to the first baseman Alonso. 3 unassisted ground ball, 1 down. And here's Michael Conforto. And Bryce Harper will pinch hit for Michael Conforto. Bryce Harper against Cole. 1-1. Off the handle of his bat, just foul, but the shift was on. They got down the line, and if it was fair and down the line, that would have been at least 2. 1-2. Foul ball, 1-2 still to Harper. 2-0 AL. NL is trying to get back in the game. Bottom 5, 1 out. Ground ball on the line again. This one's a little slower, but just foul it in. Trying to do a dense shift here. That would be at least a double if you can hit it down the line, because you have the third baseman at the shortstop position. He did it! This one, the line drive, won't be a double, but it will fall in front of Martinez. Leadoff single for Harper, or excuse me, 1 out single for Harper. 1 on, 1 out. And they're going to bring in the new pitcher for the AL, Petit. I think what happened here, I accidentally put... Oh yeah, you need You need 3 batters. It's only been 2. Forgot there's a 3-batter rule. Sorry about that. 1-1. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Past Bogarts. 2-on-1 out now for the NL. 2-on-1 out for the NL. Trying to bat in this game here. Now it's Ramirito, and now they're done to Brennan Petit. The previous pitcher is responsible for the 2 batters on base, or for the 2 runners on base. Knabel's starting to warm up in the NL bullpen along with Taijuan Walker. And Jorge Alfaro will pinch hit for JT Ramirito. Here we go. New catcher for the NL. 2-on-1 out now for new. Fly ball on the line. Ball by the ball boy. That's foul. As the ball boy does get out of the way. 1-2. Ground ball at the base hit. And the runner will come around. Bets with a throw to the plate. And it's offline. And it's 2-1. And the runner at second will score. The runner at first gets over to third. And it's 2-1 as Alfaro comes up the bench with a pinch hit RBI single. And it's 2-1 for Segura with a tying run 90 feet away. And they're going to leave Segura in. Tying run 90 feet away. Ground ball in the middle. Dive in as the shortstop passed him. As it got past the diving shortstop, and Yeno in a blink of an eye tie the game. 2-2 in LA. As it was 2-0 AL, and Alfaro got an RBI single. Now Segura's got an RBI single. 2-on-1 out now for Yelich, and it's a 2-2 game, 2-on-2 out. And they're starting to warm up Chris Sale, who's a 98 overall starting pitcher in the AL bullpen. Here's Yelich. 2-on-1 out. Full count. Line drive hit hard. Right center. Trout is there. Runner at second tags, and he went to the third. He willed at the third. Throw to third. It's too late. Runners at the corners. 2 outs now for the NL, trying to take their first lead of the All-Star game. And here's Freddie Freeman. And I'll leave him in too. 3-1. Foul ball. It coulda. That would have been ball 4. Runner at first will be in motion though. And the full count and 2 outs. Fly ball center field. Trout is there, and the NL does get 2 runs, but they leave 2 runners. We head to the 6th. It's now 2-2 between the AL and the NL. Here we go. Harper's in right. Harper's in right. Alfaro is behind the plate, and I believe that's it for now. There's Altuve, who's still in this game, but here comes Corey Knebel from the NL bullpen. And there's no second baseman. Well, there's probably someone else to play second, like Isaiah Tanner-Falefa to play second, so Isaiah Tanner-Falefa will pinch hit for Jose Altuve, and obviously will take over that leadoff spot. Here we go. Top 6, 2-2. Hit hard down the line, cut off by Ferdie Freeman. Throw to Knebel, 1 down. Good play by Freddie Freeman to prevent most likely extra bases, 1 down. Here's Whit Merrifield. He's a DH. Michael Brantley will pinch hit for Whit Merrifield, and obviously he'll take the number 2 spot in the batting order, and he will take over as DH. And Cesar Hernandez will come in to replace Studer Jeanette at center base defensively. So Hernandez is in the game for Jeanette. 1 out for Brantley. A pinch hitter ground ball to the third baseman. That's Machado. Zips it over to Freddie Freeman. 2 down. There's Mike Trout. And I'll leave him in. 1-2. Ground ball and chopped in the ground. Freddie Freeman's glove flip to Knebel in and over. Quick 1-2-3 in for Knebel. Middle of 6. It's still 2-2. And the game is Isaiah Tanner-Falefa at center base. And obviously Brantley's the DH. And they're gonna bring in Chris Sale. 98 overall starting pitcher. And you have Charlie Blackmon replacing Mookie Betts in right field defensively. Here we go. Here's Sale against Hoskins, who's still in the game. Popped up. Fly ball to all the way over his Blackmon. It's a long run. But the old man, or like the 38-year-old or something, I think Blackman's like 38 years old or something like that, late 30s, will make the catch. Shift was on it, so Blackman had to run like 100 feet to his left, but he made the catch. Here's Hernandez, his first at bat of the game. 1-1. Ground ball. First baseman is Alonso. Throw to the pitcher covering, 2 down. That throw is a rainbow, but he's still down and 2 down. And now Machado, 0-for-1 with a walk. And Nolan Arenado will pinch hit for Manny Machado. So Arenado, one of the 2 righties in the All-Star game, will pinch hit for Machado with 2 outs. Ground ball up the middle, base hit for Arenado. 2 outs single for the pinch hitter. 2 outs single for the pinch hitter Arenado. 1 on 2 out now for the NL. Now Harper. 1-1. Ground ball, shortstop will throw to the center baseman covering and an over. We head to the 7th here in the All-Star game. It's the American League 2 and the National League 2. Here we go. Arenado will come in the game and play third base after a pinch hit in the last inning. We're in the 7th inning. Both teams have 2 runs and 7 hits and no errors. Here comes Taijuan Walker, excuse me. Tommy Pham will pinch hit for J.D. Martinez. And Anthony Rizzo will replace Freddie Freeman at first base defensively. Here we go. Here's Pham pinch hitting. 1-1. Against Walker, ground ball, base hit. Punch between the first baseman and the center baseman. Throw to first by the right fielder, not in time. Leadoff single for the AL. Pham comes off the bench with single. And now Charlie Blackmon, his first at bat of the game. 1-2. Popped up behind the plate. Behind the plate is the NL catcher, which is, I forgot who their catcher is, but he makes the catch behind the plate on the behind the plate in foul territory on the NL logo. 1 down. Here's Bregman, who's single and scored, and I believe he also has a walk. No, he just has, yeah, I forgot he's not a starter. 1-for-1 with a single and a run scored. He's still in the game. Ground ball, oh, it's off the pitcher! It's off the pitcher, it's the first baseman, but there's no play, as hopefully the pitcher's okay. As there's the NL manager. And Walker's starting to limp around, but looks like he's okay. And they're starting to warm up Kenley Jansen in the NL bullpen, while they're starting to warm up Sean Doolittle in the AL bullpen. This is Xander Bogaerts, and here JT Riddle will pinch hit for Xander Bogaerts. Here we go, 2 on 1 out. That's a go-ahead run at center base. Ground ball should be 2, 6, 4, 3, double play! As he got the batter by a step, or really a half a step, and the inning's over. 7th inning stretch time here at the ballpark. It's still 2-2 here in the 2020 MLB All-Star game. JT Riddle's in the game, and he will play shortstop. Sale still in for the AL, bottom 7. Here's Peralta. From the D-bats, the ground ball, Bregman. Throw over to the first baseman, which I believe is still Yonder Alonso. Will dip Peralta 1 down. Now Alfaro, who had an RBI single on his last at-bat, that made it 2-1 in the 5th. He's the catcher, I believe, for the NL now. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Sale. 1-2. Ground ball off the hand or the arm of Alonso. Throw to first, got him. Did a recovery by Alonso. 2 down for Segura, who had a game-tying RBI single on his last at-bat. And Corey Seager will pinch it for Gene Segura. I believe that was the last NL starter to come out of the game. Here's Cedar, who's on the Dodgers. So he's playing at his home stadium. Line drive. Foul. Playing at his home stadium. 2 outs. No runners on. Bottom 7. 2-2 game. 1-2. Ground ball. This one is just foul. That was closer than the first one, but both of them were foul. 1-2. Popped up. With a stay in play by the dugout. Freeman by the railing. Has room by the NL dugout, and the inning's over. We head to the 8th. Still 2-2. Corey Cedar will come into the game and play shortstop. And they're gonna bring Kenley Jansen, who's in this game is still in the Dodgers, so he's playing at his home park as well. And I don't have Doolittle scheduled to come into the game in that inning for that. And I'm gonna put Juan Soto in left to replace Peralta. And then I'm gonna put in Yadier Molina, who's like 40, and at catcher. Here we go, full count. Ground ball where no one wants. Shift was on. It's a 1-speed batter, and he's going to second. Throwing to second, it's wild, and almost run away by the left fielder. And the 1-speeded runner, which is, I'm not sure who that is, but he had 1 speed. It's a double, and he's a go-ahead run in this ball game. And now they're starting to warm up their closer, Craig Kimbrell, the NL is, and they're starting to warm up Jameson Taillon. Who is that? That's Yonder Alonso. I didn't realize he only had 1 speed. Jeez. And Colin Dilford will pinch hit for Josh Fadley, who is still a starter. I might actually do a pinch runner. Well, they only have 3 bench players left. Under Lario can't play first base. He has 52 speed. Or did I put like I don't put Lindor. Oh, Lindor can't play first base, but I don't have. But still, then I can put Lario at first base, and that's inning. So yeah, Francisco Lindor will pinch run for Alonso at center base. He's a go-ahead run in this ball game. Here we go. Line drive, base hit, and the AL will take the lead as the ball will stay in play down by the right field foul pole. But it's a double either way and an RBI double, and it's 3-2 American lead as they're back down in front here in LA. As the rookie, I'm not sure if that's a rookie, but Colin Dilford comes through. Runner at center, 1 out, and it's 3-2 AL as the AL is back out in front. Runner at center, nobody out. Ground ball, right side. Runner will advance to third. 1 out, but there's a runner at third and 1 out. So the infield will probably be drawn in here. Here's Michael Brantley, the DH, and they're gonna bring in Jameson Taillon. The runner at third is responsible of Jansen. And Marcell Ozuna will pinch hit for Michael Brantley, and obviously will take the DH spot. Here we go, Ozuna to go ahead with a runner at third and 1 out with his team already up 3-2. Infield in. Popped up. Shallow right center. Might be way too shallow for a tad. Will he try it? And he will. No, he's going to stop. About a third of a way down the line. That was a smart decision. So it's a F8, but it's an F8, but the runner at third will not tad, which is a smart decision. Now it's Trout, but this is still in the game as well, as he's still a starter. 3 more hitters counting the Trout with a couple bases open. Foul ball, full count the Trout. Remember, first and center base are open. Here we go, full count the Trout. Foul ball and the slider. Here we go. Full count again. Another slider. Ground ball. Rizzo will field it, throw it to Taillon, in and over. And the AL did a run on a Colin Dilford RBI double, but they do strand another runner at third base. And that was Still 4. Middle of 8. It's now 3-2 AL. And coming in the game is what? Sean Doolittle. Well, that's Colin Dilford at catcher. Francisco Lindor cannot play first base. I'll change that. And then Sean Doolittle's coming in. Bottom 8. NL's down 3-2. 6 more outs to work with. Yeah. Lindor cannot play first base, I don't think. He's the shortstop, also my second and third, but he can't play first. But Jair Candelario, I know I botched his name a couple of times. He's going to come in to replace Francisco Lindor at first base defensively. The last bench player for the AL. Here's Yelich against Doolittle. Ground ball charging at the shortstop. Will feel it. He's got to hurry. Yelich is out by I would say about a step to maybe, or a step or half a step. One down. And now it's Rizzo. First at bat for Rizzo. The last flip ended right when I threw that pitch, but it was a ground ball by Rizzo between the shortstop and the third baseman in the shift. But the base hit, runner at first, 1 out. And we have 3 bench players too. Do you have anyone faster? Yeah, Chris Taylor will pinch run for Anthony Rizzo at first base, representing the tie and run. He's also a Dodger. Here we go. 1 on, 1 out for Hoskins. Ground ball should be 2. And second 1. First double play. And the inning is over. We head to the 9th. 3-2 AL in LA. Here we go. Chris Taylor will not come in at first, or he will come in tentatively at first base, but he's not going to stay in at first base. I'm going to bring in our closer, though, that for the NL obviously won't get the save, but he's trying to keep it right where it is at 3-2. It's the NL closer, and he's the Rockies closer. And in this case, he's the NL closer, but he's not going for the save. But he's trying to keep the deficit right where it is at 3-2. And Chris Taylor, or Josh Donaldson, he's on the NL. I just understand. I think he's still on the Braves. Josh Donaldson will replace Chris Taylor at first base defensively. So I believe there's 1 bench player left for the NL and none left for the AL. Here's Kimbrel trying to keep it right where it is at 3-2. Top 9. Full count, the Pham, foul ball. And the AL bullpen, they're starting to warm up their closer, Roberto Osuna. He's the closer for the AL, and he's the closer for the Astros as well. Full count. Ground ball right to Josh Donaldson just into the game. 3 unassisted ground ball, 1 down. There's Charlie Blackmon. 0 for 1. Ground ball where no one was. Base hit down the line. That ball will just die in the grass. But by the time the left fielder gets there, that will be a double for Blackmon as the AL is trying to get some insurance here in the top of the 9th. There's Alex Bregman. The last bench player for the NL is Brandon Nimmo. I said the AL doesn't have any bench players left. Runner at center, 1 out for Bregman. Ground ball, that will be right at first. Foul ball. 1-2. Ground ball. Donaldson, another 3 unassisted ground ball. Runner will get over to third. Runner at third, 2 outs now for the AL, looking for some insurance, while the NL is trying to keep it right where it is at 3-2. And it's going to be up to JT Ritzel. Couple bases open. 1-1. Ground ball. Will it stay fair? That ball is fair. From the first, got him. What a play to keep it 3-2. As that ball down the line was a slow chopper. It was going to stay fair. It did. Good play by the third baseman to end the inning and save a run. Last chance for the NL. Middle of 9. It's 3-2 AL. Here we go. NL is down 3-2. 3 more outs to work with. And due up in the 9th for the NL is 5, 6, and 7. It's Hernandez, Arenado, and Harper. And coming in is the AL closer from the Astros, Roberto Osuna, trying to shut the door, trying to shut the door and get the save for the AL. 1 to tie, 2 to win for the NL. 5 pitches for Ozuna. 2-1. Line drive at the middle base hit. As Hernandez does his job, now here's Arenado, representing the winning run. Now on the time run at first base, and you might maybe see a sacrifice, or maybe see, or I don't know, maybe a hit and run. But also Arenado is a 99 overall player. No bunt, but the runner's going. Ground ball where no one was. And going to third is Hernandez. Thrown to third by Blackman. It's not in time. Back-to-back singles, and the tying runs 90 feet away. And here's Harper. Infield is back. Why is the infield back? The infield is in. Timer at third base. Winning run at first base. At the bat-to-bat singles. Ground ball just foul. 1-2 to Harper. Time run at third base. Winning run at first base. So the infield is a stream right and in. The outfield is straight up and deep. Here we go. 1-2. Ground ball. The runner's not coming home. Throw to center. Got him there. And throw it to first, not in time. So it's I believe a 5-4 fielder's choice. Runners in the corners, 1 out. As a runner at third did not come home. Good thing he didn't, because if he did, he was dead to rights and was going to be thrown out. So now it's Soto. Runners in the corners, 1 out. Infield is now in double play depth, or at least the middle infielders are. Time run at third base still. Winner run still at first base. Here we go. Ground ball. Runners. No, it's off of Bregman. Thrown at first is in time, but the runner will score. As this time the runner at third base was off on contact. He will score. It's a 3-3 game. And the runner at third, that was a double play. That was a double play if Bregman felt that cleanly, and or that was a double play if Bregman felt that or fielded that cleanly, or if it wasn't a double play, he was at least going to be able to get the runner out at the plate, because the runner at third on this time was off on contact, but Bregman knocked it down but didn't feel it cleanly, and he had no play at the plate and no play at second base. He had no play at the plate or at second base, but he did have a play at first base. But unfortunately for the AL, the tying run does score, and which is a runner at third, and the winning run, which was at first, and now at second. So there's a runner at second and 2 outs now, and that's the winning run at second base. Here we go, winning run at second base, 2 outs, tie game in the 9th. The little tapper, will this stay fair? And it's fielded by the catcher, thrown to first, and we are going to extra innings here in the All-Star game, as the NL do tie the game, but the NL do tie the game, but they do string the winning run at second base. 3-3 as we head to extra innings here in LA. Here we go. Top 10 as we're in the extra innings here in LA. AL3, NL3. Kimbrel still in for the NL. Foul ball, 1-2. That's 10 Ilario, first at bat of the game. Top 10, 3-3 in the All-Star game. Ground ball, last All-Star game that did extra innings was, I believe, 2018, where the AL won it. I believe it was like 7-5 and 10. That was in our nation's capital. And then 2017, I believe that went to extra innings again, or as well, and I think the AL won it by 1 in the 2017 All-Star game in extra innings. 1-2. Popped up, left field, and the 2017 All-Star game was in Miami. Under it is Soto, 1 down in the 10th. So we're in extra innings as the NL did tie the game in the 9th, but they did also string the winner run at center base. 1-1. Here's Colin Differ, who had that RBI double in the 8th, so the time drove in the go-ahead run, but now it's tied 3-3. 1-2. Line drive, field on a short by the center baseman. Throw to Josh Donaldson, 2 down here in the 10th. Here's Isaiah Conner-Falefa, foul ball, 1-2 to IKF. 1-2. Popped up again, but foul. One-two again. Isaiah Conner-Falefa, ground ball, Donaldson, and the NL has a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. 3-3 after 9.5. Here we go. It's 2-0 AL and 3-2 AL, but now it's 3-3, and the NL can win it with 1 run here in the bottom of the 10th. Against Ozuna still, ground ball. Shortstop, throw to first, one down in the bottom of the 10th. So Ozuna blew the save, but he's still in the game. Both of these teams still have pitchers, but the AL has no bench players left, and the NL has one bench player left. It's in Mito Naforto. 2-1 to Yelich. Ground ball to ground ball to the shortstop again. Throw to first, bat-to-bat, 6-3 groundouts, and we're an out away from going to the 11th. And that's Riddle at center base, or shortstop. Here's Josh Donaldson, first at bat. We're in this game. Ground ball, shortstop again. Oh, and not by him, he kind of botched it, as he almost overran it, but he ends up fielding the ball cleanly and throwing out Josh Donaldson. End of 10, it's 3-3. Or end of 10, it's 3-3. Nearly down the top 11, and they're gonna bring in Tyler Lyons. Marcell Ozuna DH. So Kimbrel pitches 2 innings. Did pretty well. Ground ball, Cedar. Throw to Rizzo is kind of like or not throw to Rizzo. Throw to Donaldson, excuse me. Down him, one down. Here's the center fielder Trout, who is still in this game. He's the only starter left, I believe. Ground ball, chopped right into the ground. Quickly 2 down here in the 11th, as we're starting to see a pitcher's duel here in extras. No base runners yet for either team, I believe. Here's Pham, 1-1. Ground ball on the line, fielded by Donaldson. Middle of 11, it's still the AL 3 and the NL 3. Here we go, and it was another chance to win it with 1 run. And it was Ozuna still in the game. 3-1 hitters count, and that is in there, full count to Hoskins, who I believe is he's still a starter. I believe there's like 2 starters left, Trout and Hoskins. Full count. Ground ball, base hit, and almost cutting it off is the right fielder. And it won't be a single only because the runner only has 37 speed, and it's a winning run at first base. You might see a sad bunt here. And starting to warm up is Blake Trinan in the AL bullpen. Energy of Ozuna's in the yellow. And why not? Let's use the NL only has 2 pitchers left. It's Marquez and then Minter. But Brandon Nimmo will pinch run for Rhys Hoskins at first base, and remember Hoskins is a DH. So neither team has a bench player left. Here we go. There might be a bunt. Third baseman's in for it. Popped up right to the first baseman. Runner will get back, but he popped bunt straight up. 1 down. Here's Arenado. Winning run at first base. Ground ball, base hit. Arenado with a single, and that will move the winning run. Oh my! He was almost thrown out at first base by Blackman, his former teammate. Runners at first and second, 1 out now. As Ozuna's dead and tired, and now Brennan Trinan. Runners on base are responsible of Ozuna. Winning run at center base and 1 out. Double plays in order. Here's Harper. Harper, ground ball off the pitcher's leg. Left of the mound, buried by Brennan. Throw to first is way too late, and the bases are loaded. And the winner runs 90 feet away. And it's up to Juan Soto. Double plays in order, and the force at any bases in order. Winner run 90 feet away. 1-2 pitch to Soto, who could be the hero here in the. The last flip ended right when I went to throw the pitch, so I stopped because I knew it was such a big situation. I stopped the game, so I already threw the pitch, or I already loaded. He's about to throw it right now, so yeah. 1-2 to Soto, foul ball. What a game! And this camera has 1 bar left. It might die at any moment. Hopefully it doesn't though. Winner run 90 feet away. 1-2. Ground ball, and that's a base hit, and the NL wins it. 4-3-11. Soto the hero, and the NL has come back to win it. 4-3-11 innings. Soto's the hero with a walk-off RBI single, pass to diving Alex Bregman at third base, and the NL wins it. 4-3-11. Heck of a game, as that ground ball by Soto got by the diving third baseman Alex Bregman, and even if he got a piece of it, it probably would have been almost impossible to do a double play, or did the winning run, or cut down the winning run at the plate. And there's the Gatorade back. by number 44, Unknown Arenado, as Arenado is the player of the game here in the All-Star game. Should be Soto, because he was the hero who had that walk-off RBI single, but Arenado is the top player of the game, or really, because it's the All-Star game, he's really the All-Star game MVP. So Arenado is the 2020 MLB All-Star game MVP. As I guess he did have 2 hits, including a hit in the 11th. Soto got the walk-off RBI single, past the dive in third baseman Alex Bregman. Even if he got a piece of it, would have almost been impossible probably, unless he got it cleanly. Unless Bregman fielded it cleanly. It was almost impossible for Bregman to do a double play, or I just cut the winning run down at the plate, unless Bregman fielded that clean, like dove to his left and fielded it cleanly and was able to do a double play, or cut the winning run down at the plate. But obviously, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what he could have done, because he even did a piece of it, It went by the diving Alex Bregman. Got by the diving third baseman Alex Bregman. As Tyler Lyons is a win, or Tyler, I think it's Lyons. Tyler Lyons gets the win, and Roberto Osuna gets the loss. He also blew the save. Osuna gets the loss, and Osuna blew the save and gets the loss, while Tyler Lyons gets the win, and Roberto Osuna gets the blown save and the loss. And obviously, because it's a walk-off, there's no save. Arenado actually had 3 hits. I didn't realize he had 3 hits. So Arenado 3 for 3 with 3 singles. And like I said, he's the top player of the game. But because it's the All-Star game, really, Arenado is the 2020 MLB All-Star game MVP. When the NL opted off, Osuna technically wasn't in the game, but when he left the game, the runner that ended up scoring in the bottom of the 11th, he was on base when Osuna left the game. So although Osuna wasn't in the game when the NL won it, Osuna, the NL, or the run that the NL scored, was charged to Osuna. So so like I said, the 2020 MLB All-Star Game MVP goes to Nolan Arenado. Or the 2020 MLB All-Star Game MVP goes to Nolan Arenado, who went 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Now, Soto, I think, had the game-winning RBI. He also had another RBI in the game, so he went 1 for 2 with a single and 2 RBIs. Segura went 1 for 3 with an RBI, a single and an RBI. Harper 2 for 4 with 2 singles and a run scored. I believe Harper scored the winning run, and then obviously Arenado went 3 for 3 with 3 singles, including a single in the bottom of the 11th. And in this game, the AL had a 2-0 lead. And a 3-2 lead, but the NL ends up beating the AL 4-3 in 11 innings. 3 runs on 12 hits, no errors for the AL. 4 runs on 14 hits, no errors for the NL. As the NL beats the AL 4-3 in 11 innings. This is a good game. Or like I said, this is a good game. Or really, this is a good All-Star game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This camera's about to die probably, because there's only one bar left for the battery. So there's only 1 bar left for the battery, so I gotta end this video quick, and I gotta walk my dogs, like right now, or in a few minutes. And like I said, this camera's about to die. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said earlier in the video, I showed you earlier in the video what the next episode of the series will be in this game, but I'm not sure when it's going to be in real life. But hopefully it's sooner than later. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You'll find out what and when the next video on this channel will be when I post it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, time for closing the board. If you got subscribe, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Tell your mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know I'm gonna see you. And you know what? I'm gonna see you in episode number 15 of this Colorado Rockies MLB The Show 20 franchise series. See you in episode number 15. And eat on a bacon and go Rockies and go NL.